ladies and gentlemen. Holy. Twan, about fucking time, bro. Yeah, well,
That's right.
man, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Immaculate Podcast. I am your host, the Immaculate One, Micas. For the ones that don't know that name, who are the fans, Mike. No, I'm just kidding. It's Mike Micas. And I'm here with this man right here to my right, which is y'all's left. I call him my right hand, but y'all know him as Antwan Coleman. Bro, all I got to say is welcome to the pod. It's been a hot minute since you and I have been talking about this. Yeah, I just had to bring you on, man. I had to get you on here just to, shoot the shit with the people. Talk about some fun trending type stuff we do when the cameras ain't rolling. Yeah. Only thing is have fun with it. Matter of fact, tell the people who you are, man. Like, if
You just told him.
nah, man, nah. Just tell them from your window or your perspective. Tell them what's going on.
You just told him.
Nah.
Nah, I'm Antwan.
Yeah.
That's it.
Put the camera close or the mic
The mic
closer. Yeah, there you go.
closer. Can
Yeah,
you
you
hear
good? You good? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Antwan.
Man, tell me something exciting, bro. Damn. Say if you're on a speed date right now. What are you saying to her right now? I didn't say you had to do them or you have done it. I'm just saying if you was on one. Yo, shout out to Twan right now. I'm worried right now. I'm worried about him right now. Oh no, I'm worried about him right now. But yeah, when he comes back, he'll be straight. I don't know why you whispered to me. Could have just said it right there. What? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here though. No, but and for the ones that don't know Antwan, man, he's my best friend. You know, he remembers when I talked about this podcast a long time ago and what I wanted to do with it and entertain the people, man. And basically, I'm just bringing him on the pod just to say what's up to y'all and talk about some gossip, man. That's really about it, bro. But shout out to Twan for showing up. Shout out to y'all going in that's going to view for us and giving us those likes. Make sure you go on to the Immaculate Podcast on YouTube and you go on to all of our other platforms, including our Facebook page. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification button so that way you know when we put out this content, you go get the notification that we on live, and so should you. Anyway, man, I know we had talked about a couple topics before the pod, and we were talking about like the halftime show. And man, and your honest perspective about the halftime show with the NFL that just happened. Where do you stand on the halftime show? Like, did you like it? Did you not like it? Like, what did you liked about it? What did you not like about it? Or just things like that?
Right on. Well, first of all, I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of seeing all the posts.
Right.
But
You're good.
it was a good show. All in all, it was a good show.
All right, if you would rate it out of a 10, though, what would you rate it? Which, by the way, y'all, I want y'all to make sure y'all chime in too. What y'all think about the halftime show? Rate it 1 out of a 10.
About a good 6.
A 6?
About a good 7.
Really?
About a good 7.
Okay, 7's fine.
About a good 7.
When you said 6,
it wasn't a bad show.
When you said 6, I'm over here thinking to myself like, that's crazy.
Nah, it was more or less.
All right, let me
there was so much into it versus just trying to put on a good show. He was trying to make a point. He was trying to, there was so many subliminals inside.
That's why
there.
I put it at.
So that's what makes it a better show.
Yeah.
But then again, for what?
It's because
entertainment.
All right. So I did my homework when I watched the video. I probably watched that halftime show probably like 5 or 6 times because I tried to find like a new subliminal message amongst it during that time. So like when I looked it up, I'm gonna read off a couple of things that I picked up on it and tell me that if you saw the same thing or not. Hold on. All right. So the first thing that I noticed, and I want y'all to chime in. Let me know what y'all think on the subliminal messages that you guys saw or didn't see, or why you didn't like it or why you loved it. Either way, I'm curious to see what y'all thought because I feel like a lot of people are hating on Kendrick right now, and I feel like the thought process into the halftime show was like above a 10.
Yeah. Now that you say it like that.
Yeah. So like, okay, these are
just going out and put out a show.
Yeah. This is all right. So this is what I noticed. All right. So Samuel L. Jackson was playing Uncle Sam, aka you know who he is in Django.
Yep.
Not
surprising who that.
But it's funny. It's funny because if y'all watch the movie Django and know that Samuel L. Jackson, the character he was, and the fact that he was Uncle Sam, like, it was a subliminal message in itself. But some of the ones, I'm gonna hit you with the ones that I feel like everyone saw. So like Samuel Jackson warned Kendrick to play the game white America wants us to play, not to be ghetto.
Did he say white America?
No, he didn't say
America.
No, everything I'm saying, these are just my words. These are my words. But he's saying, he's like, yo, don't be ghetto. Like he said that. He's like, he's basically like along the lines of, hey, you need to go along to get along. Like,
right.
Don't try to stand out. Like he did say that.
Yeah.
That was one thing I noticed. Now, as far as the dancers, you notice everybody was red, white, and blue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The other thing that I noticed was that the stage. If you notice, the stage was built like a prison yard. Did you never notice? You never notice that?
No. And I noticed a PlayStation controller, but I didn't. But I did notice the prison yard. I did not notice that.
But I'm gonna get to that too.
Okay.
So he's talking about that as well, right? Okay. So something else I noticed in it was the whole Serena Serena was in there, which is Drake's ex.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's the girl's name that sung with him?
I gotta search it up.
What's her name? Chat, help me out. Yeah, look that up. Yeah. But anyway, I know she was Drake's ex as well. So there's like two back-to-back Drake's exes in there. So that was a subliminal message. And those are just all the things I've noticed. I'm sure there's a lot more to it. But like I noticed like they were singing, when they kept repeating like "not like us," like meaning like we're so divided. Because if you notice, everybody like spread it out. You know what I mean? Like there was red, white, and blue, right? On the flag, it was red, white, and blue, right?
Right. Yep.
But then if you notice, everyone divided. Did you notice when they did that at one point, where everyone like kind of fell out?
Yeah.
It was a message, subliminal message, saying that like even as a country, like we're so divided. You know what I mean? We're culturally divided. We should be united. And then the other thing that I noticed on it was
SZA. That's what it was.
SZA. Yes. Drake's ex.
Yep.
But yes. So then like something else that I was like noticing was like hold on, I have it up. How if you notice the guys that was in red and the guys in blue, something chat I feel like you would probably also know, but that was actually from Compton. That was Bloods and Crips on the stage at one point. And if you don't know, or whether you do know your history about Bloods and Crips, you should know that they don't get along. They can't be on the same block without there being some sort of friction amongst both groups. And the fact that Kendrick had legit Bloods and legit Crips on the main stage at the same time, and they were in synchronized. So what he's telling you is, hey, we can work together. You know what I mean? Like there were so many different subliminal messages outside of that, so I don't want to like mainly hinder on that one.
Right.
But what he was saying was we need to be more together than we need to be split apart. If I could put Bloods and Crips back here, anybody should be able to do it.
Hell, his songs has been doing that.
Yeah.
That first diss on Drake.
Yeah.
Man, you seen Bloods, Crips dancing.
Right.
Like in the street.
Yes.
So he's definitely brought them together.
That's what I'm saying, bro. And then on top of that, like calling them out with the whole like minors and stuff like that. Yeah. And we all know, bro. We all know like I'd say in the celebrity world, there's a lot of that goes around that they're messing with underage and Epstein Island and with the whole Diddy case and all that good stuff as well. There's a lot of like very wealthy people that for some reason can't stay away from fucking kids. It's weird. I don't know. It's super weird, man. Like they all deserve a straight every time. You know what I mean? Like, come on, guys, get your shit together. But they think I got money, I can do whatever hell I want. That's not the case. But anyway, man. So yeah, go. So I'm curious. Like I said, over everything I just said, from you overanalyzing it again, what this I'd say the attempt of the subliminal message. What would you say? Like, how did he really do? Because I personally would say it's more like an 8.
Right.
Like, because the thought process was there. Yep. I feel like the deliverance and the execution.
Performed,
that's what I'm saying. Right, but I feel like there were so many people that didn't see the messages.
Right.
So I feel like maybe there could have potentially been a better way to push that narrative out there.
Right.
I don't know. Like me, when I watch stuff, I analyze it. Like I see it and I go, okay, that was a message. Because even if you notice, after he was like, turn the TV off, and it made that shh.
Yeah.
And then if you look in the back, it said game over.
Yep.
Which to me, I had immediately had messaged. My next status was check in, mate. You know, rest in peace, Drake. Well, it was done after that. There was no other. Not only that he got all these Grammys from that song, but like then you not only do that, and you teased it at the beginning of the halftime,
knowing there was a lawsuit,
knowing what was going on with it. He even said that. He was like, I want to play it, but some people gonna sue.
They like the suit.
Yeah. And like so he teased it, and you know everybody wanted to hear it anyway.
Yeah. So, like the build up to it was crazy.
It was dope.
The build up to
exactly.
It
was nice. And then when DJ Mustard came out, Mustard, it was dope. But moral to the story, man, I thought Drake killed it, bro. I remember not Drake. I'm sorry, Kendrick killed it.
Yeah.
And
his performance wise, it definitely was. Yeah, it definitely was. And then,
yo, shout out to my boy Sven. We get down on the field, man, in March, man. I can't wait to see my boys, bro. But anyway, go ahead.
Softball?
No, it's football.
Oh, football.
I play the flag, contact flag. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, he hit me up, man. He was like, "Yo, man, what you doing on this date?" And I was like, "Man, I don't even have my kid. What's up?" And he's like, "You trying to get back out?" I was like, "Hell yeah, I'm trying to hit them all, couple motherfuckers."
Have you still been doing the ones local that we used to do?
No,
you haven't been doing those.
Ever since I went to like contact flag, it's completely different, bro.
Right.
Like the competition, the shit talking, like it's just different. Like if you would go there, you'd be like, "Bro, this shit's so dope."
Right.
Cause like not only that you got dudes on the sidelines talking shit.
Their
homeboys is on the sideline talking shit. They wives is worse. Baby mama's worse. I mean, talking bad to you, bro.
Damn.
And I mean to the point, motherfuckers just inward this, inward. I mean, like it's like that, bro. But like, it's obviously it's majority blacks, but like there's whites. Yeah. There's all different type of races, but it's cool because like it's still a vibe. But like after the game, everybody daps up. You know what I'm saying? But it's
the competitive nature of
it's the game. Intense. Yeah. And I mean, they have a whole concert there. Man, I'm telling you, bro, this thing is huge, bro. They do it all over the country. Like I traveled as close as Indy to them, and I've traveled out. Yeah, so when I went to Vegas, remember when and we won, and I got a big ass ring from that. Yeah, all that shit came from there. But I mean, like, I've been to Florida with them, dog. Like, I've been with them when they was ranked #1 in the country, and you know, like rec contact, and going into to the higher leagues and stuff. Like, bro, it's a whole legit thing. Like even NFL players have their own teams in them. That's how serious it is. But I mean, it's like televised, all kinds of shit, man. They got all these big sponsors that come in, like Bang. I know, like Bang was there, and Bang was giving out all these free like, man, he was giving out cases and stuff, man. There's like a whole bunch of like medical companies that was giving out free stuff, but everything, these are like well-known companies that was pushing their stuff. You know what I mean? Like it was dope. But like it's crazy because you had to take tour buses just to get to the spot. When you got there, man, it was just like a big ass party, bro. Because you had music blasting, you had food, then
it's just a whole
vibe. And there's literally like 30 games going, and they got anything from men's to co-ed to women's, and the women get down too. But like it's dope. Like you gotta come check it out one time.
I'm gonna have to. I was supposed to go with you to that Vegas one.
Yeah. Oh, man, that Vegas one was dope too, man. It was dope. But yeah, anyway, but yeah. But back to the halftime situation. You know, do you think he could have like potentially done better? Do you?
See, I honestly, like, I know at first I said a 6.
You barely hear you.
I know I said like a 6, 7, but I don't. Unless he would have brought out like another special guest or something, or like
Lil Wayne, bro. He should have had Lil Wayne there, dog.
See, no, because what songs do they got to get together?
They don't have any together, but maybe they just collab them together.
After going out to Drake, you can't. Man, hold on. Did you hear Wayne's diss on Kendrick?
No.
You haven't heard that yet?
No. So just tell me some of the things about it. You don't even got to pull it up necessarily, but like
I just shared it on my Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
he snapped.
Did he really? So what was the beef though about?
Just between what I'm saying, because Drake is Young Money,
right?
So he's just backing up.
He's just backing up. Okay, that makes perfect sense.
And
bro.
He did it on his beat.
Yeah.
He did it on Kendrick's beat.
Oh yeah, I gotta listen to that. It sounds dope.
Yeah, he snapped.
That's what's up.
But yeah, outside of that, unless he would have brought out another special guest or did one of his other songs, like, you know what I'm saying, there's other hit songs like his old ones that put him on the map.
Yep.
That people probably wanted to listen to.
Right.
Because a lot of people out there in those stands probably didn't know his newer stuff because they don't really care about that genre of music anyways.
Yep.
But the stuff 8 years ago, it done came through their radio at some point. So more people would have known those songs. That's
yeah, I do agree with you on that. I do feel like he probably could have maybe played a little bit more favorable songs instead of specifically like directing towards Drake.
Him, yeah, and that was the only thing. Like,
I do agree with you on that. Straight
energy on trying to diss Drake.
Yeah,
like your whole performance was based on him.
Yeah,
so it's really like a. Did Drake really lose?
That's what he definitely got the attention.
He drew so much attention for himself, like a whole Super Bowl performance was dedicated to him.
But I think it was solely because he had got those Grammys, though. You know what I mean? Yep. And it's like, I gotta give him what they want.
Yeah, for sure. People would have been disappointed if he wouldn't have done that.
But in my opinion, though, early part of Kendrick was dope, and I feel like he kind of like slowed down, like on his pace on the rise.
Yep.
It kind of just leveled.
Yeah,
and then
he got off the scene a little.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And then right when that Drake beef came, it like shot up, bro. And he was like, it was on after that. And then, but like I agree with you when you play songs like Peekaboo. Like, I feel like the average, think of the casual fan that's just watching football. They're like, what the hell are they talking about?
Right.
What does it mean, Peekaboo? Like,
and then
I
they don't know the lyrics, and a lot of them.
And they're not digesting.
As fast as he raps, so they don't even know.
They're not digesting.
They don't even know what
There's so many people that I saw in the comment section underneath in YouTube that was like, I don't even know what he's saying. And I'm like, it's a language barrier.
Yeah.
That's part of the message of they're not like us.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, there's most of the questions that you're asking, they were addressed in the video.
It was in there.
You just didn't see it.
Yeah.
You watched it, but you didn't analyze it. There's a difference.
Yeah.
That's why I was asking about the subliminal messages in the halftime show as well.
Like the fact that Drake is signed with Sony, so that's why he had the Sony PlayStation controller. That's why all that was set up out there. Like,
did you hear that? Y'all, first of all, did you hear that? And the camera, apparently the camera didn't catch it, but somebody, I don't know who it was, but apparently someone, I don't know if it was in Kendrick's inner circle or the dancers, somebody had a Palestine flag.
Oh,
did you hear about that?
And then, he kept running across. He went running across the field.
No, I heard he was on his car. Okay, so then that to me that sounds more realistic.
Yeah,
is running across the field.
Yeah, he was running, and I thought it was part of the performance.
Oh, so did you see it?
Yeah, I thought it was.
I didn't see it.
Performance. Yeah.
No, I didn't see it.
He was running around with a black bag, and until you seen them go tackle the man, like he was like.
So hold on, I did not see that. I just read it. I just read a report that it said one of Kendrick's dancers or whatever was being escorted out.
See, I didn't know it was a dancer. I thought it was a fan. I thought somebody jumped over there.
It's hard to trust the media because you don't know.
You don't know.
It's like there's two sides to it. There's three sides to the story. There's their story, and then there's the truth. You know, so I knew that the Palestine thing was legit, but I didn't know if it was really one of Kendrick's people or it's just.
See, I don't know if it was one of Kendrick's or.
That doesn't sound like something Kendrick's.
I don't think he would have risked his he
would
have jeopardized that.
1,000%. Anybody that was given that opportunity, I feel like they wouldn't have screwed that up.
Right.
But I heard that they had done the whole the Palestinian flag. And Trump was there as well.
Yep.
So like I was also felt like that message was kind of directed towards like President Trump as well, which whether you love him or you hate him, like whatever you got, everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
Right. I don't
but
get
like
politics.
I don't. I just think, and I am a politics guy.
Right,
I'm a strong politics guy. But like in my honest assessment, like I didn't think that why the Palestine flag. I was kind of like, what'd you accomplish there? No one goes, oh my God, there's a Palestine. You know what I mean? Like hell, anything that people pay attention to the media, they're not pro Palestine at all.
Right.
They're actually against it.
Right.
But I was just kind of like, I feel like you could have done something better with that time if it was one of Kendrick's people.
Right.
Right. I don't know, but I saw that couple other people like they did like Kendrick's performance, but I saw a lot of people hating. So that's why it made me want to.
And did you see that Kai? Because Kai was there. Kai Snot.
Yeah.
You see that he said that they put background or crowd noise.
No.
He said he was there to where like they inserted crowd noise during his performance.
Interesting.
I guess with him being there and seeing people like not really but then you hear
Interesting.
Yeah.
No, hey, but shout out to the people who be editing them the sounds in the back. You know what I'm saying? They gotta do something with their job.
Because he said people really didn't get hyped until he played that song.
That's what I felt like. Like you can tell, like I feel like in concerts you can see the crowd kind of waving back and forth type of thing, and I feel like everyone was just kind of just sitting there, like, man, just play not like us so we can get hyped.
Right.
And then and
at least he didn't play like 6 or 7 times like people were saying he was. Like he did in that concert when it first dropped. And he I think he did have Bloods and Crips on his stage on his performance, and he re-looped Not Like Us like.
Yeah, it was hot
times.
though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like when I was literally at the bar recently, I haven't heard anybody turn his TV off until after
they played it last night.
Exactly.
Yeah, they played it last
exactly.
night.
And all
but
if you notice when they only cut to that specific part and everybody went nuts.
Yeah,
and I'm like, okay, I listen to Kendrick. Y'all wasn't chanting this before the halftime show. You know what I mean?
Most of them wouldn't. Definitely not. Definitely
and
not.
people out there yelling mustard. I'm like, you don't even know who that is. Like you thinking mustard and ketchup. Like you know what I'm saying? Look, when they over there yelling mustard, I'm over here thinking like stupid. Like you don't even know what that means.
Yeah, Mustard put out, I don't know if it was a tweet or a post. He's like, man, Drake, you gonna be all right. Just put out good music, you'll be all right.
100%.
Yeah.
You still talk to the average person, Drake is still up top.
Yeah. Oh no, he just dropped, he got a #1 hit right now.
That's my point.
I haven't listened to it yet. I've been meaning to listen to it.
I haven't either, but
I don't know if it's an album or a few
I saw
songs,
that on my Spotify app.
It's #1.
It's trending, yeah. And that's the thing, bro. When it's all said and done, Drake will still be higher than Kendrick, unfortunately, on the list. To the casual artist fans, not the hip hop artist fans, and that's what I kept telling people.
Because he reaches more of a variety.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm like, guys, you didn't think Kendrick's music was good, but it's because you don't listen to that kind of music.
Right.
You don't analyze that.
No,
there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Everybody got their genre.
My go back to it was, I bet you if Jason Aldean and Carrie Underwood was playing, you wouldn't be bitching. You know what I mean?
They wouldn't have had to put in no crowd noise.
No, that's but because they portray to a majority of a demographic. So I feel like if there's one thing maybe you could have done is maybe like just had him collab with somebody that is a little bit more well known that could have maybe helped push the algorithm. You don't have to edit the noise. Because I tell you one thing interesting that you say that is WWE does that. Like certain wrestlers that they want to push that the crowd doesn't like attach to, they will edit noise into there and edit it into the actual live feed to where when you're watching on TV, you hear it like it's super loud, but in the arena, like people are like, we don't like this dude, you know. So I mean, it happens in all sports. They edit. I even heard they do it in the NBA. I heard they do it in the NBA sometimes. Yeah, yep. But it's all rigged anyway. All sports is rigged, bro.
I already know it.
All sports is rigged.
I blame DraftKings.
Yeah, yeah. All the platforms.
Picks.
Yeah,
I blame
are all of them. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, regardless of the standpoint. Matter of fact, I just saw a conspiracy, and I looked at like 2 years ago conspiracy, and the guy was saying exactly that the Eagles and Chiefs were supposed to be in the Super Bowl this year, and the Eagles were going to win. Now, their conspiracy said also that Travis Kelce was going to retire. And now that they're talking about that, I'm like, is that really a conspiracy now? You know what I mean? But he, like, broke it down from the color scheme of – because, like, their Super Bowl, like, logo, it's predetermined, like, years in advance.
Damn.
So, like, the common colors, then they find the common team colors, and then they go, yeah, this is going to be your Super Bowl. So this upcoming year – that he said last year it was supposed to be the Eagles and Buffalo, or who?
You say Chiefs?
No, Buffalo.
Okay.
No, I'm talking about them.
It was supposed to be Eagles and Bills.
Yeah, the Eagles and Bills.
Okay.
They're supposed to like be in the Super Bowl, and I think he said Eagles were going to win again. And I was like, man, that's one to watch for.
This supposed to be going for what,
that's for next year. Because the colors, if you look at the Super Bowl logo for this next Super Bowl, it literally has the Bills colors and it has the Eagles colors.
Never paid attention.
Look it up right now, just real quick. Just say next year's Super Bowl. Tell me what you think. But yeah, chat. It's all rigged, bro. All the sports is rigged. I don't know, when y'all do all the sports gambling stuff, I'm just here to tell y'all it's all rigged.
Yeah, you seen that they there was a post, I guess, damn, what's the name? He got the script Eagles quarterback got the script.
Yeah.
While he was on the bench.
Yeah.
He had like a little smile smirk on his face.
Yeah.
Like he knew he was supposed to win. And then they came and got the book. The NFL, somebody from the NFL came and got that.
That's
book
what I'm saying, bro. Like it's all rigged, man.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, is it every step of it rigged? No, because you can't perfect it.
No.
But as far as the outcome, they make certain things. Because if you notice, all of a sudden, the end of the score looked a lot closer. The game looked sort of closer than what it originally was. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you notice, the Chiefs just all of a sudden started scoring the last few possessions. And it's like, bro, y'all could have been done that. You know what I mean?
Which one?
Hang on. Let's see.
Oh, no, I should have did 2026.
Yeah.
Okay.
2026. Let's see. And actually, our stream kind of disconnected, so be careful when you hit that.
Oh.
There you go. No, we're good. We're good. Just be careful when you hit that. 2026. Where's it at? No, there it is, right here. This is the logo for next year.
Okay.
And they were saying how like now that people are catching on to like the color schemes, they're trying to change it up. But just look at last year's. Here,
right here.
Last year's. This is it right here. So you look at this one. They have the green in there, which there's not much of it, and then you have the red for Kansas City. But he goes into detail and explaining.
Yeah, I never noticed that.
But nobody does
because it was a NOLA.
Yeah,
like a NOLA
but
thing,
then look at parlays. Like even Danny's even here talking about like parlays. Like literally, like he literally said.
Matter of fact, yeah, because that one was with the Panthers, and theirs was blue.
You see what I mean? I'm telling you, bro. Mic drop. That's all I gotta say. This shit's rigged, bro.
But did they make that design before they knew who was going to be there?
Yes.
Okay.
So the logos that are printed out.
Yeah.
Look at the last couple years. They've been
advertising those. They got to advertise those way before. Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? It's all predetermined, bro. It's all predetermined, bro. This shit's rigged, dog.
Never noticed that.
Vegas always wins. Literally what Danny said. Vegas always wins. Stop gambling on sports. It is toxic.
Never have.
I don't do it.
I never have.
I don't do it. But yeah, like literally he was even talking about like some of the parlays. He's like, that's why I stay away from big parlays. Like it literally becomes a lottery ticket. He's 100% right. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, you'll hit some of them every once in a while because it's just like the casino. You're going to have.
It's like they need you to win.
They need you to win so you can keep pouring money back into it. You know what I mean? But yo, on to the next topic, bro. But the shit's rigged. NFL's rigged. MLB's rigged. NBA's rigged. NHL's rigged. It doesn't matter what sport it is. It's all rigged. Anyway, man, when we were talking about trending topics last night.
Yeah.
Man, I'm curious about your opinion between the 90s trends and the 2020s trends, bro. Tell me your honest assessment about it. I need to know because you said some things to me last night. Actually, no, correction. I said
me? Oh no, me? You gonna put that on me?
All right, bro. Hey, run it by everybody. Tell him what happened, dog. Just tell him what happened. See, he's laughing because he knows. I ain't gonna lie. I said some messed up stuff. All right, bro. Run me by, man. You can time it down a little bit because ain't nobody trying to get canceled. But
yeah, you better get me canceled.
All right, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Nah, hey, I come to y'all as is. I'm not here. I'm not on no specific platform as far as being paid, so I'm gonna say what I want.
Right.
Damn it, I'm tired of the trend.
Bad time. My fault. Go ahead.
I'm sick and tired of the trends of the 2020s. Ladies, I just got a question for you. Why do y'all persist? Why do y'all wear bottoms that cover up the stomach? I don't get it. Like, y'all can't hide it. Like, I don't.
Even if you don't need to hide it. Literally, you stood there on a stage last night, and it was 10 girls. Every single one had jeans above their belly button.
Yeah.
Whether they needed it or not. I mean, it's just, I guess it's new, bringing back the old trends or what? I don't know.
But why is that coming back? The whole point of trends is creating something new. Yeah, and that's the problem with the 2020s. y'all bring trends back that we've done 30 years ago, 20 years ago. It's crazy to me. And then, like, I made a post about this one day. You ever notice there's so many beat up Air Forces now? Like,
it's like they buy them and rub them in
that's
dirt.
What I'm saying,
like,
bro.
It's like they buy them and rub them in dirt. It's like,
hey, when I be looking at these beat up shoes, being a shoe sneaker guy, I know you're a shoe sneaker guy, and be watching them damage, I be over here looking like,
how dare you?
Like, you over here disrespecting these shoes.
Daughter if she was gonna do that to her.
I'm like,
I asked my daughter if she's gonna do that to her.
Oh.
Man, she looked at me crazy.
Yo, tell me about the time when your daughter roasted that person on their shoes you told me about.
Hold on. You gotta.
It was something that your daughter saw their sneakers, and your daughter was like, "Why?" It was something along the lines of, "Why does she wear those shoes like that?" Or,
I think it was the Forces, or it was.
It was the Forces. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
And then she was. I forgot what. My daughter's so funny.
I know.
I forgot what it was, but she said something about the girl's shoes, and she said it.
She said it loud.
She tried to be quiet, but the girl heard her.
Right.
She heard her, and it was like an awkward moment for me. But I was like, I don't know. That's just what y'all kids do. She said, I don't do that. She's like, I don't do that. I'm like, okay. I'm glad you don't. But
it was something along the lines, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm not 100% sure what she said exactly, but it was something along the lines. She was asking her dad on why their sneakers looked like that,
and like it was just dirty. Like,
and they were just dirty and beat up,
so tight, like. They was tied so tight, like she was about to run from somebody. Like I don't know why they gotta tie him so tight. Like that, I don't understand it.
Hey, hold on.
I don't understand it.
Real quick, what did you say was wrong with the shoelaces?
They literally pull them all the way tight. Like literally, like you can't get them no tighter than that. I don't understand. And it's really just the top part tight. So they don't lace up the whole shoe. They just pull the top part tight as hell and the bottom part loose. I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
Oh man, can y'all help me out with this
like,
trend, bro?
I don't know why.
Yo, shout out to Keys, man. Keys is in the chat, bro. What's up, Keys? What's going on, bro? Keys is in here, Twan, man. You say you blame Kanye? Yo, shout out to Kanye getting another divorce.
Really?
Oh gosh, you didn't know that?
Man, he put her on blast, exposed her whole body,
she
and
was
then
done
just
with it
left
after
her.
that. She went out there asshole naked. And she literally said, look. When she stood out there, she took off that jacket. All she was thinking was,
how dare you?
Like,
man, I felt like she was
straight canceled.
What's the help signal for? What's it like this or something like that?
I don't know.
It's like a sign language for like help. Like if you can't, I feel like she should have been on that red carpet like this.
100%.
Help me.
I find it weird too that
help me. Help me.
No, but
I did not know they got a divorce.
Yeah, they got a divorce, bro. She said enough's enough.
So she divorced him.
Yeah, she divorced him.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, she got her bag. And
you know what it was.
Now.
I'll be honest, that was probably a contract marriage anyway. Like he was probably do something to be able to get people to talk more about him and the fact that she looked like Kim Kardashian. It just brings his name back in the topics, keeps him trending.
Did you see that he just posted Diddy's sweatshirt?
No.
The hoodie that he was wearing when he beat on girl.
No.
He posted that for like advertising, like to sell it.
No,
because,
but I know he
was supporting Diddy right now. He's like,
I know he did. He tried to get Kendrick to say like free Diddy. Like what the what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he just posted.
Look. I'm over here when he said I was like,
yeah. I don't like it's.
And you know,
it's every year at the beginning of the year.
I'm always about woman empowerment, but I know when he said that, all the women over here were thinking like,
how dare you?
hey, that was a different level of disrespect.
He feels like he can't get canceled. They don't try to cancel him so many times. I don't know if he can get canceled, but
he already been canceled.
He's been canceled.
He been canceled.
Like he don't give a fuck no more. But
is it me or is his head look like a swollen knuckle? hey, shout out to Kanye. His head built like a swollen knuckle. I just want to baby powder that thing real quick. Like, bro, come on now. No, but back to the trending topics, man, because we got to have a conversation about this because I just don't understand it. The beat up forces, the high bottoms, like the high waters. Back in the day, we got made fun of for having high waters.
Men's wearing purses,
bro.
Fanny packs,
bro.
That's one thing I would never understand. That was never even our trend.
No, that was even before us.
That was like I think it was purse.
If I'm not mistaken,
I don't care how much it costs.
I think I was like in the 70s trend, man.
But men,
Yeah.
Men were doing that?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Y'all might have to fact check us on that.
No,
but
no, those was the hippies wearing the.
That's
the,
what.
A man would
call it a satchel, but
yeah,
in wrestling, like when I first started wrestling, it was like everyone was having fanny packs, and I'm like, yeah, I ain't doing it. And first of all, I'm like, why do you need a fanny pack? You got a wallet. Like if you need to carry it, you carry it in your suitcase.
Right.
So I didn't really understand that, but I don't know if it was something that it was carried, but like now everyone's doing it. It's a trend that I don't understand. Like I want to understand it. But like the starter jackets, that's one thing Keys brought up. The starter jackets.
Yeah.
Like
those are coming back?
Yeah, I guess so. Like, but the starter jackets was dope.
Yeah.
Like
I wouldn't mind if that comes back.
That or man,
and they're bringing people's wearing jerseys again.
Yep.
For a while, like jerseys was a thing, and then if you get caught in a jersey, it's like,
yeah,
you wearing a jersey.
Yeah, you wearing a jersey,
like,
bro?
Wearing a jersey?
Yeah. But like now, like they're starting to come back. You remember when they used to rock the jerseys backwards?
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of dope back in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it took a while for it to stick, though. You know what I'm saying? But I thought it was straight. What are some other 90s things we used to do, man? You remember FUBU? Hey, what if somebody ever brought back FUBU, dog? Would you?
No. No, I'm not wearing FUBU, not wearing Dadas.
Dadas.
Hey, I had about 3 pairs of them.
Yeah, 3 pairs of Dadas?
Yeah,
hey, dog, I had a couple pairs of Shaqs, man.
Okay.
Hey, I had them $13 pair of Shaqs from Walmart. Well, I thought I was tough shit. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I had big old bifocal glasses. My glasses was so thick, man, I could see the game from the parking lot.
man, nah, my mom kept us.
Yo, Mom, shout out to you buying me those thick-ass glasses for no reason. I feel like you really did that just to make fun of me, but it's all good, though. Yeah, she did me wrong right there.
Shout out to Mom Dukes.
Yeah, Mama Dukes. Shout out to Mama Dukes as well. How's she doing? How's your mom doing now?
She's doing good. She's doing good. Still,
healthy-wise, still kind of that concern.
Yeah. Still going through the.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's doing good. Still running the daycare.
Nice.
Still the biggest heart ever.
Yeah, 100%.
Doing good.
Dude, I remember back in the day, man, we were kids, man. We used to help your mom run the newspaper route.
Oh, man. Remember when Caleb fell off the hood of the car? When she hit the brakes and he fell off the
Caleb
hood?
fell out the car?
No, he fell off the wheels. We was riding on the
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he fell out the
like we used to love to do it.
Yeah,
so,
we'd wake up at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Before school, help her wrap up the newspapers, get out there, sun's not even up yet. Going to deliver paper, running with the car. Man, my cousin, we all riding on the hood of the car. She hit the brakes.
Tell me who your cousin is.
Caleb, rest in peace.
Shout out to my one of my other boys, man. He's not with us anymore, but he's with us in spirit. That's why I wanted you to say who it was.
Yeah, Caleb, my God, man.
Yeah,
that shit. Man,
we miss you, bro.
Man, we miss you for sure. We miss you.
But yeah, go ahead, finish telling the story.
Yeah, she hit those brakes. I don't know if she did it on purpose. I don't know. But man, he went flying off the hood of that car so fast, like it's one of the.
And the way he fell off the hood, was like when Jazzy J used to always get thrown out the house.
Yeah, it really was. And you know, and Caleb was always a big dude, always tall, always a big dude. So he didn't fall elegant, like it was not elegant when he fell. Like,
right.
He hit.
Right.
he hit. But we laughed.
That was the thing to do though. As Danny said, even in the chat, he's like paper routes was the move back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Easy. Yeah. I fully agree with you on that, man. That was definitely one of the trending things. What else was trending back in the day?
What was trending?
Man, we should know this because we was there.
Something that my daughter's doing now. What they used to do all them damn bracelets where they're wearing like 16 fucking bracelets.
Yeah.
Colorful
that's coming back.
Yeah. All them girls is wearing bracelets now.
So weird.
It's like the ones that you weave in and out
to
make the little square ones.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. She got a whole kit.
Nice. I don't know. It's kind of funny because I always joke with people and I'm like, 80s and 90s was the best times, like, period. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And when I'm talking trending-wise, I feel like that was the year because
trending, music, life in general.
Yeah.
Just in general.
Yep.
Like,
I just feel like before that, obviously, you had the segregation and all that type of stuff. But when it did get better, I feel like it still wasn't as trending and as cool as it was when it was like the 80s and 90s. I feel like that time frame that we were fortunate enough to live through, I just feel like it was completely different. Like now I look at life in society and I'm like, this is such a letdown. And like, I'm fearful for my child to grow up in this world because it's not like it used to be. You know what I mean? You got school shooters, man, and
we didn't have to work
it was
like,
never
maybe it was happening, but we didn't have the social us to be able to know what was going on out there.
The worst thing we ever got was the bomb threats. Remember, we always got bomb threats, usually just by the nerdiest kid in school because he got bullied.
Did we get those here though?
We got those at Bossy all the time, 100%. I remember we always had to go to the church. That was literally like 2 buildings down on the other side of Clayton's.
Damn, I wasn't there when we
had
that.
Yeah, we literally had
probably 2
or 3 bomb threats that they call, and then we go over there, we sit over there for about 2 hours. The bomb squad go through. They're like, man, there ain't nothing in here. Like, but all it was always some kid calling from a telephone.
Yeah.
And hey, shout out! I know they're trending, man. You remember the little telephones that used to be on like random blocks and stuff that you had to like put 35 cents in to be able to make a collect call.
Yep.
Or if you called, what was it 1-800 collect call? You could do it for it wasn't free, was it?
Yeah, you can ask like the operator to call somebody or something like that.
Yeah, you would push 0. No, you push 0. And then like some random lady would be like, operator, you were like, can you call my mom? Who's your mom? Yeah, her name is such and such. And then she'd be like, I need more information.
So y'all was walking across the street to the church, Dr. Walker making y'all pull up your pants.
Oh, see, I never sagged, but I remember Dr. Walker used to always shout out to Dr. Walker. I know he also passed away as well.
Oh, I
you didn't know that? Yeah, he passed away years ago, man.
Okay, yeah, I did. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I
man,
did know that.
I never got in trouble like that, but I got to know Dr. Walker just from seeing him in the hallways, because if you remember, he would hallway patrol to make sure nobody was late, and if you were, like, you got that detention quick.
You got that detention.
Man.
Don't let you come in there without a belt. Yep. He's going to give you a rope to tie your pants up.
Man.
He did not play.
No,
he
didn't
was so
play.
cool, though.
So never had an issue with him.
That's probably the best principal I've ever had.
Yep. Same.
But, yeah, I used to get sent down to him pretty I ain't going to lie. And then, but, like, my punishment was, like, he never suspended me.
Right.
He never, sometimes he put me in detention. He called my mama. He called my mama just to hear me get chewed out on the phone.
Right.
And he put her on speakerphone. Tell her what you did.
Tell you what you did?
Tell her what you did. I'm like, Mama.
Mama, you hungry? Remember that Honey Five South? Mama, you hungry?
Man, she was spaz on me on that damn phone. Talking about you getting your ass whooped when you get home.
When you get home, you already know what it is.
I'm at work. You got these people calling me while I'm at work.
I've had a couple calls like that too. I ain't even gonna lie to you, man.
And that's another thing. Parents was allowed to whoop us.
Yeah.
We can't whoop our kids no more. You
can try. You see what happened to Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, you can try and let them go tell somebody.
That shit went viral that like he whipped his child, and I was like,
not even beating, just ass whooping. And these kids need ass whooping.
Yes.
When you do it at a young age, you don't gotta like I haven't had to put a belt to my daughter in years.
Right.
Just because who cares? I did it when she was younger.
Well, yeah.
Whether it's like a little pop or whatever, never abusive.
Well, I remember you used to always say, "Do we gotta go have a talk?"
Yeah,
because like that's what I say to my daughter now. Like it's funny. Like
that's all I have to say now.
That's my voice alone is deep. So like when my daughter hears it, she knows like when I'm not playing.
Yeah.
But I'm like, "Do we gotta go to the corner?" And she's
no.
That's the worst.
Right.
But these days now, as we got whoopings, you take their electronics away. Their electronics is like worse than ass whooping.
Right.
An ass whooping lasts for 10, 20 seconds. Well, depending on how bad it is, but it'll last.
It depends if you run away too. You may get
short.
A
listen, dude, my mom and my grandma used to whoop me with a sorority paddle, bro. Like a little.
Damn.
So, bro, I got it worse. And then they made me bend over and touch my toes, dog.
Don't let them break a nail.
Listen.
Don't let them break a nail. If you're trying to fight back or run away, they break that nail.
I'm telling y'all right now, this is how bad it was. When my mom used to come pick me up from school, she'd take me home. She'd be like, touch your toes. Hey, listen, bro. When I bit, I just heard it before the pain registered. Bro, one day I saw my mom put on sweatpants and a sweatshirt, and I think she put on a headband and took a swig of Gatorade before she whooped my ass, bro. She was literally getting ready to literally whoop me. Well, she wore my ass out.
Especially when you got the premeditated ass whooping.
Yes.
You try to put on a couple layers.
That's what,
extra
bro,
layers.
It was the worst,
couple
man.
Extra layers on there, try to soften that cushion.
Yeah.
I still will never forget the one time I got in trouble. I forgot what I did, and then I
keep your mic close.
All right,
yeah,
all right. Yeah. So I was getting a whooping. I got in trouble for something, and there's a room right here, the dining room. There's another door right there. I ran out this room, tried to make it into the other door. She threw a damn cordless phone, hit me dead in the head.
Yo, shout out to Mama Dukes with the perfect aim.
She felt bad.
Green light.
She seen that I was all right. Well, you shouldn't have been running.
Hey, Keys. I don't know if you still in here or not, but hey, Keys, Twan's mom did the rhythm shooting on throwing out.
Excellent release.
She 2K'd the rhythm shot on his behind.
Excellent release, excellent timing. But hey, I wouldn't change it for the world because I am who I am because of those
same. Yeah, same.
Because of that discipline.
Yeah.
If not, like,
that's funny.
You know, you grew up in the world thinking like there's no disciplinary action, for your actions. You're gonna do whatever. And that's really what's wrong with these kids nowadays.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother topic. But that's
for sure.
That's really what's wrong with these kids nowadays.
What other topics? Speaking of that, pull up the topics real quick on your phone. Because there was a couple others we was going to talk about. But I know one of them was the Mavs trade. Okay. But I had talked about that on the last podcast and like how I felt about it. Chat, I have calmed down since then. I'm still pissed about that. No, just leave it up. Leave it up because yeah. But I have calmed down a lot since the Mavs trade. I still am pissed off about it. And the fact that Anthony Davis only gave us 24 minutes before he didn't even give us a whole. So
that first game he was showing out, he got injured that game.
He got injured, bro. He played 3 quarters, a total of 24 minutes, and went out with the groin injury. We didn't even get a full game out of it, bro.
He was showing out too.
Bro, he was balling out. When I'm watching the game, I'm like, man, if we play like this, I'm like, yo, we might can sniff the finals one more time. And then, like, this could potentially, smells gone, bro. You can't smell shit now.
Nah. And with me being a Laker fan, I appreciate the trade.
Man.
I appreciate the trade.
Yeah, that's all right. It's the Lake Show now, man. I don't know what you talking about. I'm on the Lake Show. People said, man, you going to miss Luka. I ain't never left him. I'm just a partial Lakers fan now. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad we got him.
Man, listen, bro. I don't listen.
So how long AD going to be out?
It says like it could be 4 weeks, maybe 6. But I just saw a report like not too long ago that said he could potentially be out for the season. And you know what makes it crazy though? So we traded Maxi Kleber in that trade as well.
Right.
And we had Daniel Gafford. We had Derek Lively, right? Mm-hmm. Lively was already out with the injury. He won't be back to the playoffs. That's even if we make the playoffs. Then to make things like more crazy, Daniel Gafford, right? So Anthony Davis comes in, plays that, gets injured. You know how they say like, oh, he's injury prone, he's an injury bug.
Yeah.
Somehow Anthony Davis came into the motherfucking and I said motherfucking locker room and somehow passed the injury bug to Daniel Gafford. Now Daniel Gafford's gone for the whole season, bro. Damn. We got no big. We have no big man right now. No big man. So I'm thinking, oh, you know what? I know Alex Lynn's not playing right now. Like, let's go get him.
Right.
Nope, the Lakers picked him up.
Did they get rid of Connect?
Dalton Connect?
Yeah.
No, remember they traded him, and they had to rescind the trade.
Okay.
Dalton Connect's back with y'all.
Okay.
Which benefits the Lakers.
Did you hear the rumor story about that?
No.
About Connect and Bronny having an issue?
No.
And then that's the reason why they was going to
trade I saw that. I did see that conspiracy. I think that's more of a conspiracy.
Yeah.
But because they were saying, oh, we wanted Bronny to shine and all this type of stuff. I don't think that's the truth. Whether they had a back and forth,
right.
whether
and
that was
Connect apologized to him, and then Bronny went to his dad and like, nah, he's cool.
Let's be honest. Dalton Connect is better than Bronny.
Oh, for sure.
And anybody that says that he isn't, you need to be drug tested.
At least for now. A lot of people giving Bronny slack. He got potential.
He's got potential.
It's in his blood.
He's got potential, bro. But he'll be at best a bench player. I'm sorry, a consistent bench player.
and
that's me.
And that's all right.
And I there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like most fathers put a lot of pressure on their kids to live up to it. Some do, but most don't.
And I think it's the world that's putting that pressure on him.
You're exactly right. But that's why I think guys like Bronny and Shador that are like built for the moment because they've had that in their face all. So it's like in pressure situations, they know how to handle pressure.
Right.
I just think everybody's putting such a big limelight on Bronny. Like I hate it that they like publicized that he hit his first three with like as an official Laker.
Right.
I'm like, why is this even a topic? Yeah, like who cares?
How many other superstars that are now go look at their first year in the league? You didn't say, oh, when he finally hit a three.
Yeah, like nobody said that. Nobody said that when Wemby came in and was like, oh, Wemby hit his first three. Like, no, like who cares?
No, I'm talking about like even who's somebody that's I didn't follow Dame Lillard. Was Dame Lillard a beast when he first came in the league?
Yes and no. Like he was okay.
Better than Bronny, but not,
for sure. But
not nowhere near what he is now.
No, not even close. Not even close.
So
no one. When Dame Lillard came from Weber State, no one thought Dame Lillard was going to be Dame Lillard. And if you did, it's because you were either already a fan of his or you're fabricating it. No one thought Dame Lillard was going to become Dame Time. No way in hell did anybody see that coming.
Right.
Just like Giannis. No one thought Giannis was going to be the Greek freak. And then the man puts on like 60 pounds in offseason, which y'all should have drug tested him because I know for a fact you cannot put on that much muscle and not be legal. But that's beside the whole different point. But what I'm getting at is no one even thought Giannis is going to be Giannis. You know, he was just this young 17-year-old kid that got drafted and was like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna hopefully make the All-Star one day and I want to be the league MVP.
So question, you think it's better to be overhyped or underhyped?
Underhyped.
Like Zion Williams.
Underhyped.
He was overhyped coming in.
And he's injury prone. But he was injury prone when he was with Duke. I'm a Duke fan.
So even without the injuries, just his performance on the court, going from college to the NBA caliber players.
Yeah, they expected him to come right in and cook.
Yeah, and cook. And
you gotta
it just made him look worse than like he wasn't bad.
Perfect
example.
It
just made him look worse just because it was so hot.
Perfect example. Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
When he came in, they knew he was already injury prone. And that man, I think they said he's only played like 40% of his games in his entire career.
Dang.
Yeah. But he's making stupid amount of money right now. So I'm like, the same slack that y'all are easing up on Joel Embiid, y'all got to get the same to Zion.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because, like, yeah, they kept hyping on the fact that, you know, he was injury prone or whatever, which is fine.
Right.
But, like.
That's a lot of meat on them bones.
Bro, listen. Zion is like, I don't even think he's 6'6". I think he's legit like 6'5", maybe even 6'4", because they upped the stats. Okay. I remember when I played basketball, they always said I was 6'3". In reality, I'm like 6'1", and I'm like, it's just I think they take your shoes in consideration and they kind of elevate your stats.
They was doing that to KD for a while.
Yeah.
Nobody knew how tall.
They was like KD's like 7 foot 7'1". I'm like, bro, KD's not that tall. KD's like 6'9", 6'10". Like I've seen KD play in person. And I've seen him stand next to other 7-footers, and he's definitely shorter. Moral to the story, back to the Bronny situation, I think it's better to be underhyped so that way the expectations aren't as high. Sure, there's certain people like your LeBrons, your Carmelos, your Vince Carters. You know, you got your guys that come in they come in from college, and you know they're going to be stars. You already know that, but there's certain players that get too much hype and not enough time to actually develop. Like, people are so stuck on Bronny, and I'm like, guys, you have to remember, like, dude almost died. Like, just, like, less than 2 years ago.
Right.
Like, he still has to play himself into shape during college because they're like, oh, he only averages, like, less than 5 points a game. And I'm like, yeah, he also played only a certain amount of games that year. He's still got to get in shape, and then not only does he got to get in shape physically, he's got to get mentally in shape.
Right.
Not only that you got to get mentally in shape, you have to figure out a way to fit within the system that has already been produced while you were out of action.
Right.
So they put so much hype because of the name instead of seeing like, okay, yeah, he's probably going to get drafted because of his name, but let's give him at least 5 years.
Right.
Don't highlight just because he's sitting on the bench. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of times I'll pan to him, and I get it. He has one of the highest selling jerseys right now in the NBA.
Bronny?
Yeah. No bullshit. Yeah.
That's what's up,
yeah.
though. That's what's up.
He's one of the top merch movers. And I'm like, at the end of the day, that's all you want. You're just all about money.
Right.
You're using these athletes to push your money. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't know. Me personally, bro.
I think 3 years from now, you'll see a completely different Bronny.
I agree, but
if he's still in the league,
right?
If he
no, he'll still be in the league.
I think he'll make it. Like,
yeah.
I don't think he's gonna be in the. You think he'd be in the G League?
Well, technically, he's in the G League right now.
You think he'd be in there next year?
Yeah.
How long you think he'd be in the G League?
I think they'll continue the same thing where he'll do the home games, the home Laker games, and probably just won't travel away. Which I think you get more experience by traveling away than you do at home.
Right.
But I think he'll be in the G League for at least another year. I do. After that, all reins are off because you got to think they paid him guaranteed money. Second round picks don't get guaranteed money at all. And the fact that like Rich Paul made sure that Bronny got a certain guarantee, and then they like looked at the salaries, and it was from like the 22nd pick of the first round all the way up to Bronny. Like nobody got paid more than Bronny, which is like crazy. But when you think of how much merch this kid moves,
right, his name
it makes sense.
Right.
So you can't fault him for that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he's only there just to be there. You know what I mean? Like he didn't ask for this.
Yeah, he's there.
But you got to give the man time.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, I just think a couple years for Bronny, I think he'll be a very good role player. I think he'll be I think his ceiling, his highest ceiling is to be a consistent starter. I think his exceptional, like, expectational, like, role, I think is a good role player. I think if he can, like, maybe sometimes be the sixth man and then maybe sometimes start to, like, that, I'd say anywhere from that sixth man to, like, that consistent contributor that can give you 14 points a game, 15 points a game. I think Bronny, I think that's where he's going to be at.
I think his assist numbers is going to be, I think he's going to be.
Yeah, he's got to see the game. I agree with you.
Yeah,
his IQ is the best thing about his game.
I think he's going to be a crazy playmaker.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah, he's going to be able to score the ball, but I think his playmaking skills are going to go through the roof.
I don't think he'll end up in the Lake Show, though.
You don't think so?
No.
You think they're going to end up getting rid of him?
As soon as Braun's gone, unless J.J. Redick decides to, I think he'll eventually go somewhere else, whether it's to Cleveland or somewhere else, so he can actually, like,
have his own.
Exactly. He's got to create his own story.
Yeah.
But
for sure.
Yeah, back to the other thing that you got on there. Yeah, I'll let you pull that up. But the Mavs trade that we were talking about, you know, before we got to the Bronny subject, AD got hurt 3 quarters into the game. On top of that, Daniel Gafford went down the next day. So I'm like, dang, AD, I know you ain't watching this, but if for some reason this gets to you, go see a doctor, bro. Like, I don't understand how you get so hurt all the time, bro. Like, you're not even that old. I get it in NBA years, you're technically old, but like you're not that old, bro. I think he's like 32.
Yeah, he's tall.
He'll be 32 this year. And the thing is like, yeah, you look at his genetic makeup, you understand why he's injury prone, but at the same time, bro, you prevent injuries like that by working out in the gym, and you're doing things to strengthen those certain areas that you lack, which causes the injuries. I just think he's not doing that. I think he's just coming in, he's just hooping. Right. You know what I mean? I feel like 98%, I think, of the NBA players, they just come in and they hoop and they leave. You know, and they do the conditioning parts, but they only do it enough to keep the coaches off their back. Right. And they go home. Nobody has that Mamba mentality where they're putting in the extras. Luka just comes out and hoops.
Yeah, Luka. You think he's gonna get better with that playing with Brian?
Oh my gosh,
I think
it's gonna be nasty.
I think being with him and seeing his work ethic,
the
way he's gonna drive him.
He just got a rebound. I watched his play. He caught the rebound, looked up the court, and when he smiled because he saw Brian already. Yeah. As soon as I saw that, I was like, it's about to get nasty. And every time he plays with Bron, he's going to understand because he's not used to that freakish speed. He's never played with anybody like just like LeBron has never played with a Luka.
Shit, I think it was that game. I seen LeBron, like, you know, LeBron's fast anyways. I seen him run full, like it was about like the half court 3-point line. He did like a full sprint, about 4 steps. Like, I'm like, damn.
Yeah, he was gone. Yeah.
Like, I ain't seen him run like that in a long time.
Luka looked up and he smiled and he just tossed it up and he's like, man, this shit about to be easy.
Man, I ain't seen LeBron run like that in a long time.
I love how LeBron said, Luka, don't fit in, fit out.
Right.
Make us fit to you. I respected that because I know he genuinely meant that. Yeah. And I know that Luka's been struggling a lot because Luka is trying to work. He's trying to fit what they got going on.
No, you can't.
LeBron's like, no, listen, this is your kingdom here. Like, I'm here. I get it. But like, this is yours.
Right. And LeBron wants that and needs that. He's old. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like
Anthony Davis wasn't that dude, bro.
No, he like that's been my thing about my Lakers is they besides LeBron they haven't had literally one other person that they can just rely on.
Right.
That can go get a bucket. LeBron can just pass them the ball and get a fucking bucket. No,
right.
LeBron ain't got to pass it. Just
right.
go get a bucket.
Yep. So I mean, I agree with you. I mean, y'all definitely won that trade. Well, we won that trade. Shout out to the Lake Show fans, man. I'm glad y'all got Luka because apparently my organization trashed him, talked bad about him. The man just bought a $32 million mansion.
Who?
No, it's a $16 mansion. Luka, the day before he got traded, he just closed on a $16 million mansion.
In Dallas?
In Dallas, bro.
Damn.
Next day gets traded. Didn't even have the respect to tell him.
That's fucked up.
And the thing is, being in the locker room, being a non-American, he was proud to probably buy his own real estate in United States. So he talked amongst the locker room like, "Oh yeah, guys, I'm about to close on my first house."
Somebody knew.
And the fact that you couldn't even tell the man after before he signed on the dotted line. So like this house, that's his house in Dallas.
Right.
And it's crazy. The same thing Anthony Davis was going to a $32 million mansion, and he's been living in that one for, I think they said about 6 months. He just signed for his earlier
in
part
LA?
of the year in L.A. $32 million house, bro.
That is shitty how they could just do that to
bro.
them,
But yet the owners want to play the victim role when people ask out. Like with Jimmy Butler asking out, they're trying to make Jimmy Butler seem like he's wrong for that.
No.
Bro, we know this is a business. We know y'all using the NBA athletes
Politics.
for your. That's all it is, bro.
Politics.
That's all it is, man.
Politics.
Rigged sports.
And that's why it's rigged because there's so many politicians involved.
And there's so much
money involved that the politics got to win.
That reminds me of politics. The politics of, and I'm not legit the politics, but the fans of the All-Star Weekend, the way that they politic their emotions about the style challenge or whatever.
Oh yeah. Chris Paul and Wemby.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Man.
Tell me about that, bro.
Hey, Chris Paul's IQ's on another level. We all know that anyways. His IQ's on another level.
Right.
So he put Wemby on game of the skills challenge. It's about the time. It ain't about how many shots you make. You got to make your passes. You got to make your bounce passes.
Right.
And it's the time. Tell me why these fools went out there, made their passes through the hoops, and didn't even attempt to shoot the damn ball. They just got to throwing the ball and got disqualified.
When you showed me the video from that, they just saw him just like tossing it.
Just flinging it.
For one, CP3 definitely told him to do that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. Wemby wouldn't know that.
No.
He's too young.
And for two, the fact that the fans were booing
him. And you see Cavs over there. Boo.
Bro.
And then they get do you think they should have got disqualified for that, though?
That's tough.
Like, why?
At the end of the day, we're just here to see the damn athletes.
They got disqualified just so everybody didn't do it.
That is true. That's why they did it. And, like, I understand the subliminal message behind it. But, like, just let them do whatever. At the end of the day, do you think people really care who wins the skills challenge? No one cares.
No.
They just want to see their favorite stars,
and
like,
how can
doing
you
stuff.
fault these guys for having a higher IQ than everybody else for the last so many years?
I'll be honest. So, actually, so the people that don't know, the viewers that are watching, explain like what was the reason of them doing that?
To get the fastest time, to get done with.
So like, yeah, what's the rule? Talk as if someone doesn't even know anything about skills challenge.
Basically, you gotta go through the obstacle course. You gotta go through the obstacles in the fastest time, and the fastest time wins. So with that, they wasn't focusing on shooting the ball. They just grab the ball and just throw it.
Yep.
Get rid of all the balls and then go. You just have to make the passes, the bounce passes, the chest passes, and then the layup. The shot, I could be wrong. I don't know. But I don't think that the fact that if you make a shot or not, I don't think that matters. So they cheated the system and
got caught.
I don't think they should have got disqualified.
They should have got DQ.
But they could have been a little bit more, it was obvious. They could at least threw the ball towards the backboard.
The way that they threw the ball. Hey, listen, chat. When y'all get a chance, go and type in CP3 or Chris Paul and Victor Wembanyama. And when y'all need to know how to spell the Wembanyama, just put every letter in the alphabet. But like the thing is, they can't see it though. They can't see it. Yeah, they can't see it. But like,
you gotta search it up. It's hilarious.
You gotta search it up.
It's hilarious.
It's actually pretty entertaining, and let's just say that the fans did not take kindly to it. I get the reasoning behind Chris Paul doing it, but in my honest opinion, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like they was trying to stick it to the man. Like it's kind of like I think it was. Once again, I think it was a subliminal message.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Now, if it was Kyrie doing it,
right?
I don't see Paul doing like Paul's IQ. Paul's IQ, you know, like I said, is on another level. So I think he just literally told like, we just got to get the fastest time. It's like the only thing that matters is this.
You think
we get these done. We just got to get the fastest time. Come on.
You think that's what he said?
I honestly think that's what he told.
Man,
I honestly think that's what he told.
I think he said, "I'm tired of the media trying to push the narrative that we out here being lazy during All-Star Weekend. Let's really show what lazy looks like." I swear,
lazy
bro.
with the fastest time,
bro.
Not just walk through it.
Man, the way they could have made that look a little bit more professional.
They could.
I felt like they made a mockery of the system.
No, they probably didn't think they'd get disqualified. Had they probably known that they was get disqualified, if they do it next year, I bet you they'll probably hit that rim.
No, they ain't gonna do it. If they do it next year, bro, they getting rid of skills challenge.
No, I'm talking about they at least hit the rim or the backboard.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, because you know Paul can throw it up with his left hand and get anywhere near the rim, so left or right hand.
So I'm curious. The slam dunk contest. What's your expectations of it? Do you think it was actually entertaining?
Jumped over that car?
Yeah.
Because of what? Blake Griffin jumped over the hood.
Yeah, he jumped over the hood.
He jumped over the
whole car. Yeah, the hood part was easy because it's super small, and and if you notice, Blake didn't really jump over. He just dunked and then stood on top of the car, like he cleared the whole car, and still
grabbed it from the guy
and
dunked it.
That's impressive.
You think he's going down as all-time best, like for, you know, that's putting him over Vince. I
would put him in the top 5. I put him in the top 5.
Who are you putting over him?
Vince Carter.
Are you saying that because that's our era?
No,
like our era, or
you got to think this era is more about props. It's not so much about the difficulty of the dunk. That dunk,
and back then, the difficulty of those dunks,
taking it through the legs and stuff like that, you couldn't fathom that stuff. Like you only saw that on video games,
right?
Like his dunk where he like grabs it, all he's doing is kind of like a up and under. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying like it's easy by any means. Right. But Vince Carter could do that same dunk, and in his prime, Vince Carter could do that 10 times over.
Yeah, for sure. But those ideas just wasn't out there.
Right, because it wasn't more based on prop. It was actually based on athleticism and like the difficulty.
Yeah.
But like I would definitely say that Ja Morant's in there. Now, are we saying just in dunking contests, or are we talking about dunkers of all time?
Dunking contest.
I'd put Zach LaVine in front of him.
That's fair.
What about Aaron Gordon? Michael Jordan?
Jordan didn't do nothing crazy besides that.
Jump from the free throw line.
But that's besides that.
They regulated it now, and actually the only person I've seen do it was I just said his name. Just got traded from the Bulls. Zach LaVine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's the only one that I've seen do it, and even then, he kind of like stepped over the line. He didn't actually step on it and then take off.
That's fair though.
But
that's
Jordan,
top 5. Yeah,
I'd say Jordan, Vince Carter. What about Jermaine? What about he used to play for Golden State. Did the dunk where he bounced it off the backboard, took it between the legs, and dunked it. Jameson, no. Matter of fact, pull up right now. Pull up. The topics go top 5 or top 10 dunkers of all time, and I'm telling you, once you say Jason Richardson. Okay. Jason Richardson is definitely above him, bro.
Yeah, I forgot all about him.
Yeah,
I forgot.
What about Gerald Wallace? I mean, not Gerald Wallace, Gerald Green. That was the dude that would in mid games would catch windmill alley-oops.
Was he in a dunk contest?
Yes, and he won one as well.
What year was that? Do you know?
You'd have to look it up to be honest, but like.
Yeah. Okay.
I would just put. Like I said, I would put him in the top 5. That's why I say he's top 5.
That's fair.
I just wouldn't put him as the greatest dunker of all time. You ain't.
I'm not even saying I would.
I know.
Your opinion.
Well, I think they pushed that narrative last night.
Because
like this,
they said
this could be the greatest dunk of all time, bro.
Vince
Cut that
Carter,
out.
he got you.
You need to be drug testing.
Yeah. See, but it was a good show. Like, right. That kind of, like, he definitely showed out.
Right.
He definitely showed out.
Yeah, I was just curious on what you thought on that. And then as far as the All-Star game, do you like how they keep changing it? Like, what's your thought on that?
You was mentioning that earlier. Did we actually search up what the
rules? No, you can just look them up. Okay. Just say, hey, what's the rules or not, or I can. But basically, I know the NBA has basically been trying to alter the rules to get the athletes to try hard. I know a lot of the NBA fans that watch it know that it's just basically like an open Congo line to you all right, man? You good?
Are you gonna be?
You good? I'm good, man. I'm good. But yeah, no, like literally, it was one of those things that they're trying to push a narrative that like they want them to work harder and stuff like that, and how they're trying to find ways to do that. But I thought the point system that they were working towards, remember when Kobe passed away and then they had that point system that they had to try to maintain or get to, I thought that was cool because then you knew the last couple points, you knew everybody was trying very hard. I just feel like, in the old school All-Star break or All-Star game, first half, it was kind of like more about show and tell, but like that second half is where they started locking down, and then basically they just really zoned in as far as defensively and commitment and all that type of stuff. But what I was going to tell you, if I was the commissioner, I will put a meal up. As much money as the NBA is making, they can afford it. I would put a meal up for every player on the winning team, and then what I would do is I would split instead of having 2 teams, I would split 3 teams.
That's what they said. No, they said 4 teams.
4 teams, yes,
4
it's 4 teams.
8 players, 3 games, first to 40 points win.
Yep.
And a David and a Goliath element thrown in there for good measure.
Yeah. And like, I just don't think that's gonna stick.
I don't think so either.
I think you grab, let's just say 17. No, I'm gonna say if you grab 21 of the best players that the NBA has to offer, and you put them on 3 separate teams, right? Your top 3 vote getters are all captains, and they do the same thing. They do the draft.
Yeah. And
whoever wins a mill. And then also, whoever wins, their side of the conference gets home court advantage. Not about records. So it entices people that are playing in the All-Star that actually have a title to potentially win that year. Right. I feel like they would play a lot harder because they're like, hey, if we win this, only that we get an extra mil on our bank account, but we get home court advantage for the start of the NBA Finals. Or you could even go a little bit more neutral and go for each conference, whoever team wins, whoever the captain is, their team gets maybe like the home field.
Some incentive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think you do something along the lines of that to be able to better cater towards
me reading these for the first time, seeing what the rules are. I don't know. First team to 40 wins, like, so you don't have to worry about them slacking off for the first 3 quarters and then playing hard. 40 points ain't that hard, and it's not like you're having to go through a whole bench lineup,
right?
To where you got substitutions, you got your favorite player not playing because of whatever, bringing these people in. To 40 points, they might go hard to get to that 40 points first.
I don't think they're doing it.
You don't think so?
I think with just today's generation, you can't force people to.
Was it yesterday? Does it air today?
I think that's today, bro. I could be wrong about that because it's always the same weekend. Should be today.
Yeah.
Should be today, like later on around like maybe 6, 7. Am I wrong?
I'm about to find out.
But anyway, I was just going to get your opinion about the All-Star break, that type of thing, because I know a lot of people kind of go back and forth with it. But as far as anything else, man, I got a question for you, Twan. So I have my own little emotions about how I think our system is crooked as far as just like where I think the generation as a world is going. What's your take on where do you think the world is going as a whole right now? And what I mean by that is for an example, I think the world is somehow going backwards. Like the whole point is every year we're supposed to get better, we're supposed to get sharper, create all these new inventions and all this great stuff. to keep us on the incline. I feel like as a society, I feel like the world's declining. You know what I mean?
I think so.
Like, what are some of the things that you see that you observe just with the world, whether it's the youth generation, whether it's our generation, whether it's in politics? What do you see that makes that you think, man, this is why we're kind of taking a step back? What's some of the things you see? So, like, for me, some things I see right now is the hardness. We were talking about whoopings and stuff like that earlier. I just feel like the hardship that we grew up on, we were built on it like a particular foundation. Like our last names mattered. You know what I mean? Like you didn't want to disappoint your people and stuff. I just feel like now you're almost like praised to be like on your own. You know what I mean? Like you have the nothing against transgenders or anything, but like that's a thing now to the point where like you get paraded for like being different, and that's fine. It's cool about being different, but it's just feel like back then we had a certain level of expectation and we couldn't fall short of that.
And it's damn near like they're making it
they
a trend.
Force it exactly.
So when it's a trend, more people are gonna want to do it.
Exactly. Like, how do you feel about the school systems? See, I think that's another reason why we go backwards. Is like we're so worried about. Remember when we were in school, we had government, we had econ, all the basic English classes, all that. Sometimes you might have taken foreign language or whatever. Yeah. Why didn't we ever prepare ourselves for like taxes, how to file taxes? Exactly. It's because it's the system.
It's made to limit us, to put us in this box.
Exactly.
If not, they wouldn't be there. And
yes.
We wouldn't be here.
Exactly.
It'd be a little bit closer.
As much money that goes on in the world today, bro, everybody should be able to eat. We should not have to look at our bank accounts and go, man, I don't know if I can afford this.
Because you know how much shit I learned in school that
bro,
I don't.
Exactly. But if we'd have learned how to do taxes, if we'd have learned about more importance about credit scores, about going to school, like even going to school. Hey, first of all, shout out to everybody who goes to college and got their degrees. I think it's amazing. It's very hard to do, but I saw a statistic and it was like over 50% of college graduates aren't even in the field that they studied for. And the average college student after graduating is like $50-some thousand in debt.
Yeah.
And it's just like, could you imagine if trade schools were as popular as they were now? Like, could you imagine graduating high school and then them saying, hey, you don't have to necessarily go to college to still make all this great wealth. You can go to this trade school for electrician hall, and you could be there for 5 years, kind of like college is 4, but some people go 5-6 years in college. Right. But you go here as an electrician, and in 5 years you could be making 6 figures. And you're at that point you'll be what, 22?
Yeah.
See what I mean?
They don't
want that. That's part of the reason why I say the world is going backwards. They don't want you to know that. It's all about a system. We were talking about the Super Bowl. Not like us. They're talking about how everyone's divided. Like I said, when I was talking about when you look at the color scheme, it was an American flag, but they all fell apart because they're all divided. The biggest fear of the system is everyone galvanizing and working together as a unity. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they keep you divided. So when they keep you divided like that, it actually hinders our generation and it tends to decline. So even look at relationships. Right. Look at relationships. Our grandparents been married for 50, 60 years, or they at least were with the same person for that long. You know what I mean?
Morals.
Exactly. That shit's
and they didn't
gone.
Have they couldn't just pull up and
social media.
So and then see so and so.
Right.
So it's we do have that. It's all an adjustment.
Right.
But we are definitely not advancing as fast as what we should.
Yeah, I feel like, and there's so many more things. I mean, I feel like religion should be and it's a choice, but I feel like religion should be an opportunity to be a class. I don't think they do Is it a class? What are you talking about? Oh, this might be a touchy.
They don't do that anymore.
They don't do the Pledge of Allegiance?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think you're right.
Yeah,
I remember we used to have to do that.
Yeah, we did it. Yeah. I think they stopped it when I was my senior year.
Really? Is that what? Was
that was 08.
Was that whenever? No, they didn't go to uniforms yet, did they? At that point, you were already graduated at that point, right? Before they went to school uniforms.
I think no. Yeah, I graduated. Yeah, shit. I wish I would.
No. Okay, no. What I'm saying is,
Prince?
Now this is a story all
Man,
about
yeah,
how
I'd
my
have been
life
in, like,
got
Fresh
turned
Prince.
upside down. No, but
But it was, I think, the year after I graduated, they did that because they was worrying about what's the prints on people's shirts
Yeah.
and shit like that. So they just got rid of all that. But I think it's fucked up how, like, even in our city, some schools do it, some schools don't.
Right.
So why does Bossy got to do it, but so and so don't?
Right.
Or why does this school got to do it, but they don't?
Right.
Well, just because you got a majority black here or whatever the case may be, so you're not agreeing with their clothing choices.
Right.
So you want to control what they wear on a daily basis.
Right.
But then they can go wear what they want just because it's preppy type clothing anyways.
Yep. Yeah,
I don't think that's right.
See, I went to Plaza, so like everyone was dressed preppy.
Right.
So like it was like we had our own version of uniforms, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I was at Glenwood, which is the complete opposite. It was more ghetto hood.
Yeah.
And I go to Plaza, which is probably the most preppy school in the town.
Plaza Park Prep.
Yeah, yeah. It's what we were always called. That's what we were called.
Yeah.
And my style changed. You know what I mean? Just because it was what was going on. You know what I mean? But like,
surrounded by.
You know, you had that Fresh Prince look there. That was normalized there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Matter of fact, if you wore anything different than that, you were bullied for that. I remember the first time I showed up.
Man, them kids out there, man, they are bullies.
Yeah. Oh no, 100%.
Like
100%.
I didn't even really. Okay, never mind.
No. Hey, no, but man, why you say that? Go ahead and say it on there. Say it on mic.
But it was like my type of bullying was different type. It wasn't that type of bullying. It was different. But kids are mean. I mean, these kids nowadays are mean. Like the way they talk to, it's.
I don't know. My daughter doesn't really talk like that.
Yeah, that's my daughter's going through it.
Your daughter's bully?
Nah, I wouldn't say that. I was just witnessing it between her friend circle group and other people.
She seems like she's the leader of the group. I feel like Cece don't lead the group.
Yeah, she's like.
Yeah, I knew she did. I just wanted you to say it.
Yeah, and it's so weird. Like even from in the daycare, Cece's always been like the ringleader. It's so weird. Like I got so many videos of her just demanding.
Was you like that? I feel like you was more laid back.
I don't know. Remember, I was the youngest.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
Like everybody I grew up with, you guys are all a year, 2 years older than me.
Right.
So I grew up as the young one. So I couldn't be that.
Yeah.
I had to stand my ground and live up to y'all.
Right.
So I think that's why I became, and I wouldn't call myself a bully, but I think that's why I was the way I was growing up. Just because I grew up with older people, so growing up on the South Side, like, you had to let it be known that I'm not no easy target.
This what, you ain't about to pick on me.
Yeah, so that's just how I grew up.
Right.
But
I feel you. That's another thing too, bullying, man.
But
like bullying's completely different now. Like you got cyberbullying, all that type of stuff.
It's a different type of.
And
bullying.
I'm like,
that's what I mean. It's a different.
I'm like, what? I'm like, man, cyberbullying seems so much easier than it is to actually be physically bullied. Like, I remember walking in hallways and seeing people get pressed. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you try to press me through my DMs or through a comment section, you just don't have to pay attention to it. All you got to do is not look at it.
Right.
But if a dude's straight in your face and he's checking you, that's a completely different ball game. You can't avoid that.
You can't avoid it.
You got to stand your ground.
You got to deal with it.
Or at that point, you go ahead and pay that commissary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
go ahead and get that free lunch. Go ahead and give it up. It was just different. It was different.
And then it was different. Then, like, there was a situation. I wasn't trying to get in trouble in school. My dad brought it up a couple months ago. He reminded me of the time in middle school, a kid was trying to bully me. I wasn't trying to do nothing because I wasn't trying to get in trouble. Nope. I told him. And then about a couple days later,
you need another drink?
No, I got it. A couple days later, did it again, and I beat him up. And I get sent to the principal. My dad came in there and was like, I told y'all about this kid. Y'all chose not to do nothing about it.
Beat him up. Beat him up.
Beat him up. Y'all are not going to suspend my son because y'all told y'all about this. He shouldn't have been bullying my son. Because he got his ass whooped. My son's not getting in trouble for this. He's going home today, but he'll be back tomorrow.
That's how it should be.
But that's what my dad, because my dad told me that if he does it again, beat his ass. I was like, I'm not trying to get in trouble. He said, I don't care. Beat his ass. And that's what happened. But that's how we was raised. And it's like a borderline of like, do I raise my daughter like that? Or do I raise her in the times that we're in? Because I don't want to provoke violence. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's if they put their hands on you.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Don't fight over words.
With my daughter, when that approaches, I will be like, somebody bullies you, you punch them right in the mouth, and you tell them, my dad told me I ain't going to punk down at anybody. And as soon as the school calls me, I'll come pick you up, and we're going to buy you whatever you want because you stand your ground. And here's the thing. I would teach her about the core values on life as a whole instead of what she's hearing. Because we believe half of what we hear and we believe all of what we see.
Right.
So she's going to notice a pattern. So I'm going to teach her to not only be aware to the patterns, but how to avoid them. You know what I mean? Like, I'll talk to her. Are you good? I would talk to her and I'd be like, hey, this is some of the things you should pay attention to when you see a bully. These are things to avoid. But if they're not avoidable, you punch that bully right in the face to stand your ground.
Right.
And then it's just about life as a whole. So like I'll make it make sense to her where it's still trending in her generation.
Right.
But it's built off the core foundation. You know what I mean?
You have to keep some of the core foundations.
You have to. But that's the problem with the unity. They
don't just jump the gun. No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that's the problem with the society today is they don't have the core foundation of what we were brought on. They only brought by what they see. And TikTok and all these different types of platforms teach them to be soft. So then when they're presented by a bully of some sort, they don't know how to react to that in a timely fashion.
Right.
And then it becomes a thing where maybe they don't want to live anymore, or like maybe that they don't want to.
And it's a serious.
That's a serious thing, bro. But like we never had that so much when we were young, because you stood up to the bully or you got bullied. That's how it was.
That's just how it was.
It doesn't mean you were a bad person. It's just like you're not gonna let this happen.
Right.
We don't have that anymore. So it's like I almost feel like we're creating weaker generations as it progresses and longer and longer. Me personally, I feel like after our generation, I feel like we started declining. Now our generation above us could say the same thing.
They could say the same.
Or the generation below us could say the same.
80s,
but I feel like
after the 80s.
I feel like
babies.
after the 2000s, I feel like just kids got soft, and it's just when we're just about life, when we're at adversity, like that's when we shine the most. You know what I mean?
Right.
When most people now come adversity, they break. And it's like there's such a difference in a barrier of, and it could be just, and I know it's how you raise and stuff like that.
Right.
But that's why I want my daughter to know the core values, so she understands where the foundation is built off of. Then she can mix it in with what makes it comfortable for her.
Right.
So that's basically what I'm saying.
And I had them talk to my daughter all the time.
Yeah.
I would not allow you to be a bully.
Yep.
You would never be a bully, but you would never get bullied either.
Right.
If somebody tries to bully you, you don't. I tell her, don't just resort to just punching.
Right.
But if you feel threatened, she puts her hands on you, anything like that, take care of what you got to take care of.
Whoop that trick.
Say something first. Tell somebody first, because you know back then you couldn't go tell the principal. You couldn't tell the principal, oh yeah, you about to get bullied every day, even if you do beat this dude up. So, but like
snitches get stitches. Unless you're Charleston White. Yo, shout out to Charleston White. Did you hear he's coming to Evansville? You didn't hear about that?
For what?
For a podcast. I wish I had that contact. No joke. I saw someone advertise it. It's
podcast?
I don't know whose podcast it is. I would like to know, but I saw someone advertising it on Facebook, and it's like from an Evansville podcast, and they're having Charleston White as a guest.
I wonder if there's somebody here for him to snitch on. Who he's snitching on?
I don't know.
Somebody going to jail.
I don't know, but I mean, they have a meet and greet and everything with Charleston. And me personally, when I looked at that and saw that, I was like, dang, it'd be nice to get him on the pie. You know what I mean? Like, I know it was one of my goals specifically to like hook you, to be like, dang, I'd love to let him just go crazy on a pie.
Just let him.
He's not that expensive either, man. Like, depending on certain platforms, like if you know you got money, obviously you have to probably drop a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? But like, from what I hear, he's gonna drop like $5,000-6,000 for a podcast, bro.
And that can put you on the map.
You gonna get paid off that alone.
Yeah.
What's the podcast that had Jaguar Wright? Real Stars of Real Street Stars. There's a podcast that Jaguar Wright when she was telling about all the Diddy shit and she's on the green couch.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
But I'm just saying, like, which platform I'm talking about. Well, I think they're called Real Life Street Stars Podcast. But moral of the story, man, I think he said that they was paying him like 10 bands. Dang. But like his residuals that they kick back on that, bro, they was making like I think like $100,000. And I'm like, crazy. That's an easy monopoly. Yeah. You just gotta have the bread to throw it out there from the beginning, and then it's a gamble. But you gotta make sure your audience is up there, you know, so in that situation. Not just a waste. Yeah. If not, because like right now,
it'll just be a delay. You know what I'm saying?
But like right now, like me personally, like my platform just started. You know what I'm saying? So like, it wouldn't make sense to have me on here, even if
maybe not, because more people find out.
That's the gamble that I'm talking about, because maybe he doesn't say all the juicy stuff on there because he's like, I don't know these motherfuckers. Like, I'm about to put them on like that. Right. But if he goes to Real Life Street Stars that's been paying this dude 10 bands every time, he's going to put on a show because he wants to keep coming back to get that money. So I don't know. But when I saw it on someone's platform or somebody's podcast, I don't know why I didn't think to like share or to not share it. But, I mean, I would share it too. But to just like go in and investigate on like what platform it was, because everybody's got podcasts now, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, I kind of wish I was the first guy that brought him down, you know, but like, that's some hefty money you got to drop. And at the same time, when he comes down, though, I will say he always tries to find other ways to make money. Right. So, like, maybe these people brought him down for 8 bands, but you might be able to get him for 4. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know, it's like.
And he'll probably take that just for an extra 30 minutes, extra hour out of his day. Exactly. Like
he's going to do that.
Do it.
Yep.
Easy.
So that's pretty cool, though.
You know where his meet and greet
shout out to that podcast that's doing it too.
You know where his meet and greet and everything's supposed to be at?
I don't, but he was charging like $40 for like. It was like $40 for like $40 or $50 just to like, just.
You paying that?
Charleston White? I probably would. Just for a conversation.
Right.
I mean, how I did with Bam Margera.
Right.
You saw that.
It makes sense for you too, because you have something that you could promote.
Exactly.
Like me, I'm like.
Yeah, I'm not paying. Yeah, if I didn't have a reason to pay that, like, no, I wouldn't. Right. But like for Bam Margera, like I had a vision. Did you remember even seeing that video? Mm-mm. You never saw the video I had with Bam Margera? Remember I got ball tagged?
Oh yeah. I just didn't know who that was.
Yeah, that's Bam Margera from Jackass.
Okay, yeah. Oh yeah. I remember that.
Moral of the story, I was like, hey man, how much does it cost to make a video? He's like, Jerry, I charge people like $100. He's like, man, just give me like $60. And I was like, trust me, it'll be worth it. And then I was like, hey, he's like, is there anything in particular you want me to do? I was like, I'm here to entertain, bro. You're going to have to catch me the ball tab at some point. Don't tell me when it's coming. Just fucking do it. And he's like, all right, you serious? I was like, yeah, man. Just, it's not so much for me. It's more for my people. Like, the people that are fans of yours.
Well, I hope it went for you.
Listen, I did a damn sure didn't feel good. But I ain't going to lie. I watched it like 30,000 times because it was funny every time, bro. And it was like, if y'all never saw that, y'all have to watch it. If anything, I'll repost it on my Facebook. But yeah, it was like he literally was like, I'm Bam Margera. I'm here with Micas. We're at the horror con, and I'm not trying to say simple. He said something along the lines of, I'm not saying nothing. I'm here just to simply say. And like he just goes, wham! And I mean, I dropped like a sack of potatoes.
You can't post that video in the comments? Are you able to do that? I don't know how it works.
I don't think so.
Or maybe if somebody else has that video, post that video in the comments.
Yeah, for sure. Post that video in the comments. But I mean, he got me good. But like it was all love tap, you know, and with the whole crowd, I was the first person in line too. Right. So it was like the first one comes in, and everybody was like, "Oh, this is gonna be good." Come to find out, Bam had gotten had seen. There was a couple. Obviously, there's a lot of people that see my platform. Right. But I guess there's a couple people that actually met Bam separately, like just in random, like seeing him out in the open. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh my God, we saw you on our friend's podcast. Like he's a pro wrestler. He's wrestling for WWE and stuff. And he's like, you're like the third person that's came up to me to say that. And you remember John Spears, who used to ride a motorcycle, John Spears?
Yeah.
John was in Nashville the next day and just randomly ran into him at a hotel. I don't know. He ran
into everybody.
Bro, that's the thing he does. He just ran into somebody here recently. I'd have to look on John's Facebook. But more on the story, John just randomly ran into Bam Margera at a hotel, and he does a video, and he's like, yo, Bam, like I just saw you on my buddy's platform, and you ball tagged him. And he's like, dude, you're like the 8th person that said that to me. This dude must be well known. He's like, oh yeah, no, he's a local celebrity, blah, 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 blah. And guy used to wrestle on TV, so that's where it all came from. So Bam makes a special video for John, and he's like, what up, Micas? I'm here with your boy John, and we just want to know how your fucking beanbag's still doing. And I was just like, yo, that's dope. This dude's 2 states over. He's still 2 states over, and he's still getting asked about that.
Right.
So, like, for me, that was a fulfillment for everyone else's entertainment. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, did it suck for those couple minutes? Yeah, it sucked. You know, I feel like my stomach was, like, doing cartwheels.
That'd be a good person to give you a drop.
No, he put it on his Instagram.
Did he mention your podcast?
No, this wasn't one. Just before I had my podcast.
Okay.
But if I would have had my podcast, 1,000%.
Yeah.
But the first thing Bam did, like when I got up, like we hugged, and I was like, "Yo, man, I just want to let you know I'm proud of you because I know you go through that really bad drug addiction. You're cleaning yourself up, man. Just know, real fans like me that actually care about your well-being, like I'm rooting for you, man." And he like hugged me tight, and he's like, "Man, I really appreciate that."
I wonder if that's the dude that I just seen a video of. I seen part of the video. I think it was one of them in Jackass. Like, it was within his contract. He had to take some type of pills or drugs or something.
I'm pretty sure
it was within his contract. And he didn't want to do it.
I'm pretty sure it probably was him. It was either him or Steve-O, one of the two.
It wasn't.
Okay.
No, okay. So it wasn't Steve-O. So it had to be.
It had to be Bam Margera. But moral to the story, man. He was like, "Yo, man, can you send me that?" He was like, "Yo, can you send me that video on my Instagram? I'm gonna post it." I was like, "Oh man, all right, cool." So like, I DM'd him, and then like the next day he posted it on his Instagram, and I was like,
"That's tight.
That's dope." And the first thing he said is, he's like, "I met a really cool guy, pro wrestler. We got along just fine, and he asked me for a special gift, and then it just shows the video." And I'm like, "That's dope." You know what I mean? That's well validated. But yeah, back to the whole Charleston White thing. That's why I would do it, because I'd be like, "Hey man, I have a podcast. Like, in all your experiences of going through podcasts, like, what are some of the things that you would give, some advice to new podcasters? Like, things like that. Like, I feel like that's what would validate me doing a greet with him. You know what I mean? It ain't just saying, "Oh yeah, I got to let me take a picture with you." I don't give a damn about the picture.
Right.
I just want to know your knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So if I got to pay you for a little bit of knowledge, like, I'm willing to do that, because that's an investment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, that's to answer your question. That's why I would pay to do a meet and greet with him, would be to know what he knows, because he does know a lot, and he's been on 1,000 different platforms. So I'm like, "Hey, why did this one fail? Or why is this one going so well? What are some of the things you see that they're doing really great at?" And he just gives me ammunition, man. That's it.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to give my people the best, viewership, in addressing situations, having a good time, kicking back and all that type of stuff. But like, it's hard to do that without knowing anything. You get that information from somebody that's on the front lines all the time, bro. Like, you can't pay for anything better. That's like going up to a millionaire. If you get a chance to talk to a multimillionaire or a billionaire, you gonna ask him how to get money, right?
Right.
Exactly.
That was that trending thing when it was asking, would you go on a meet with Jay-Z or take some money or something like that? Remember they were saying that?
I'd meet Jay-Z. Well, I don't know about after now, but
but then there was people saying that if you don't have, the capability of using what you got, why would you even go meet him? Right. Why not just take the money?
I don't need the money, because what I'm about to ask him is going to make me double that. Just like, for an example, like, I'm a big Andrew Tate fan. Huge Andrew. Do I agree with everything Andrew Tate says? No. But at the same time, literally, I'm going to be like, "Hey, bro, like, hook your boy up. Like, I need to know the blueprints and what it takes to get that money." You know what I'm saying? Like, that type of stuff. And at the end of the day, that's what I'm trying to do. So, like, regardless of the standpoint, like, I'm literally going to ask him enough information to be able to build the money. I'm not going to just take the 5,000 or whatever the hell they're going to offer you for. That's just stupid. This is kind of like one of those, "Hey, do you take 10 cents every second, or are you going to take $100,000? You know what I mean? It's like, you start doing the math, you're like, well, that's simple. Why would I just take all that money up front? Just take a little over time. If I won the lotto, I don't want all that shit at once, because you're going to sting the hell out of me for getting it all at once. And for two, I'm going to have to pay all that tax. I'd rather you just pay me over the next 20, 30 years. That's fine. Like, I'm fine. That last person that won like $1 billion, I think they only got back like 400 something million off of that. They chose to get paid out all at once. And they didn't even get half of it back. I get it. It's free money, whatever. But still, like, no, pay me over the next 20, 30 years. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool, because I think they would have got like around 700 million if they would have taken the long-term payout instead of short-term payout. I'm like, man, y'all just want this quick, fast money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to build something here. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things. That's just my thought behind it. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
Well, man, you got any closing remarks, man? Anything else? I feel like we didn't have fun on the pod, man. We kind of entertain people, talk about a little bit of sports, all that good stuff, man. We talked about the generation, man. Anything that comes to mind? Anything you want to ask, man? Anything fun? I'm always an open book, bro. I'm always an open book. Anything? Chat, y'all got anything, bro? Put it in there. You see anything, man? I see you over here brainstorming.
Oh no, I was looking to see if we missed anything.
Yeah, no, we're good.
Only thing we
Yeah, I mean, even TikTok. We were talking about trends earlier, though. But
my daughter still got the app. She never deleted it.
Boy, I slept so good when that TikTok got banned, bro. I am not a TikTok fan. I got nothing against TikTok personally. I know what TikTok is in China because I have friends that currently live there that commute back and forth, and their TikTok is completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Their TikTok is like informational. It's like educational. Ours are all just about like, it's just, you can tell the difference and why China's 10 years ahead, technology, resources, and why they're the ones that are on the come up, and our country is like backpedaling. That's why Trump.
Because our politics in office is rap beef.
Exactly.
That's like, it's a fucking circus show.
Yep. It's sad.
It's been a circus show for a long time.
It's sad.
It's like they're not even taking it serious. So why should anybody else?
Yep. It's basically, I mean, you're not wrong. But yeah, man. Well, I mean, pretty much that's about it, guys. We appreciate y'all chiming in.
On, man.
Yeah, man. Like I said, it's all fun, dog.
Oh,
we do it.
Come again. I would be a little bit more,
No, all good. But make sure you guys go on to the Immaculate Podcast on YouTube. You guys go on the Immaculate Podcast on Facebook. Make sure you guys like, you guys share the content, you guys subscribe, hit the notification button, guys. The more you help us out is the more resources we can bring to be able to help you out. Shout out to Josh. Josh, hey, matter of fact, I gotta give a shout out to Josh. He wasn't here because he had an incident with his son. His son was in a bad bus, that wreck I was telling you about that happened in Louisville. Luckily everybody's okay. There's a couple injuries, but everybody was good. Everybody's safe. They're on their way back. If they're not, actually I think they're already back by now, but that's why he couldn't make it. So he had to tend to his son, and prayers be with everybody for that. And for the ones that are injured, we hope for a speedy recovery for that. But that's why Josh isn't here. I know we originally had planned for a wrestling podcast, but like it's kind of like spur of the moment.
Right.
And I'm like, Twan, bro, come on, slide on me. And I know you're always there for it.
Yeah, I gotta come through.
Yeah, for sure.
I heard him say like the driver or like one of the teachers or the coaches got injured, like a shoulder injury.
Yeah.
Like
But he said one was standing up and like walking, was getting ready to sit down, and then like when they impacted, it like threw him.
Speaking from experience, shoulder injuries suck. I'm still recovering from my motorcycle wreck.
Yeah, dude, that was crazy, man. Yeah. Did they ever find that person?
Nah, he drove off. Yeah, he drove off. Yeah, I'm still going to therapy. Still going to. Now I'm going to a chiropractor now though. Physical therapy wasn't enough.
Right.
So, yeah, he's working. I mean, I got a little bit more motion.
Right.
I'm getting there.
That's what's up.
Well, yeah, I'm glad they're all right, because that ice ain't no joke.
Yeah.
That ice, them roads out there ain't no joke.
Yep. But all right, guys, well, y'all be safe. We'll catch you next time on the Immaculate Podcast. Y'all be safe until next time. Peace.
You didn't play your music. Oh no, you edit that in and shit like that, don't you?
We never play my entrance music on there.
Oh, I thought you did one time.
We want to. I was just playing it on there one time because Max was on there. But I was just looking at peak views. I always like looking at the algorithm that we have.
Right.
Because like, you see how many 3-second views I have?
Right.
How many 15, 60? There's such a huge like overlaps.
Right.
But I always like to look, like, you see my demographics here?
Yeah.
I have to pay attention. This is what I need to piece to more than this. You know what I mean? But I'm glad they have these algorithms.
Tight. That's tight how they got that.
Yeah, it breaks it down, and like only had one share from that. No current views. I think at one point though, when we very first started going, the first 10 minutes, we had like 12 views. Huh?
Is it still recording?
No.
Oh, okay.
You're good. No, you don't even have to put those on. You can just hear me.
Okay. Yeah. But you said at one point what?